Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
The fact that anybody books cars and rents them from Hertz blows my mind. And I'll tell you right now, I get stories sent to me and I look at them and go, I've already done that story, haven't I? It sounds familiar. Oh, no, it's a new one. And it happens a lot with Hertz because apparently their business practices need to change. Otherwise, they're going to keep being in the news like this. So several people sent me this story. I did check it to make sure it's a news story. It is. From businessinsider.com, but also reported in Jalopnik and other places. A woman is suing Hertz after being accused of stealing a rental car she'd paid for and getting arrested 4 times over that incident. Now, she's filed a lawsuit, and again, she rented a car 1 time. They accused her of stealing that car, and then she was arrested 4 times, resulting from that one booking. So she's accused of stealing a rental car despite booking and paying for the vehicle in an incident that led to her being arrested a total of 4 times, being held in custody for days at a time. Ryan Hogg wrote this for businessinsider.com. The woman used her status as a platinum member of the Hertz Gold Club loyalty program. Now that, to me, would be a red flag. The fact that the Gold Club has a platinum membership. But, again, maybe it makes sense. I don't know. But she booked and then picked up a car without checking in with a staff member at Atlanta Airport in October 2018, according to the lawsuit she just filed in July. Business Insider saw the lawsuit, and that's where they got a lot of these facts from. She had rented at least 20 times with Hertz before this. So she was a customer, and that's probably why she got the platinum status in the Gold Club. As she got into the car, an employee came up to her claiming she was stealing it. She told him she was a platinum member and to look for her reservation, but instead he called the police, who then arrested her. So when a customer standing there say, just check my reservation, she apparently saw them go, no, we're calling the police, and they called the police. She got arrested. She was arrested 3 more times between 2019 and 2021 for failure to appear in court over the incident because she was not notified about the court dates, according to the lawsuit. She spent about 9 days in jail on each occasion. So cumulatively, I'm guessing it's approaching 30 days, 28 days, something like that. Maybe 36 days. Depends on how you do your math. Her case is still pending. Hertz has declined to dismiss the case. Well, it says here that her case is still pending. Hertz declined to dismiss the case. They're clearly talking about 2 different things. Her case, the lawsuit, is still pending against Hertz. Hertz has apparently declined to drop charges against her. So Hertz could call up the police, apparently, and say, hey, this is a big mistake. We didn't mean to have her arrested. It turns out she was just a customer renting a car. You can stop arresting her. Apparently, they're declining to do that. I'm guessing that's what that means. Now, here's the problem. The woman was pregnant at the time of her 4th arrest in May of 2021, and while she was in jail, she miscarried. She was then hospitalized for 3 days. So jail 4 times, miscarriage, hospital for 3 days. And she says that's all attributable to Hertz having me arrested 4 times for renting a car from them. The lawsuit stated that the loss of her child will haunt her for the rest of her life and that she is struggling to find work as an optician due to the pending charges. She's one of dozens of people participating in a class action against Hertz claiming they were wrongfully arrested due to false theft reports. Now, she sounds to me like the classic example of somebody who should opt out of a class action if she can and pursue this as a single action, because I suspect her damages would be greater than the typical class member. The lawsuit states that Hertz reported cars as stolen even when they had been legally rented or simply because they could not be located due to poor record keeping. Hertz knows that its tracking and inventory control is broken, but reports the cars as stolen anyway. Now, a lawyer involved with the class action said that Hertz failed to retract theft claims to avoid damaging its relationship with police. So the argument is that if Hertz loses a car for whatever reason, they call the police, report it's stolen, and the police find the car for them. And if they were to call up the police and say, hey, you know something, that one wasn't stolen, that the police might start taking these calls a little less seriously. Now, a separate lawsuit filed in late September and seen by Business Insider focused on cars being reported as stolen before even being given to customers. The attorney is also involved with that legal action. In one incident, A man and his 13-year-old daughter were swarmed by armed police 30 minutes after picking up their SUV in Savannah when a Hertz agent reported them for theft. A Hertz manager arrived at the scene with a replacement car after the man showed the officers his rental agreement. His daughter, meanwhile, is in therapy after that incident because she was 13 years old and saw her father and herself being swarmed by police officers. The attorney says no company in America, no company in the world, uses the police as a taxpayer-funded repo service other than this one. Meanwhile, the CEO of Hertz acknowledged false arrests by the company in an interview with CNBC back in March, and that reversed years of denials by the company, but said policies had been put in place to stop them from happening. And so now I suppose it's possible that here we are in 2022, and maybe it's stopped. But you understand that the woman who was arrested 4 times between 2019 and 2021 doesn't do a lot for her that they fixed their policies in 2022. Hertz filed for bankruptcy back in May of 2020, but the attorney said the lawsuits showed that arrests had continued after the company emerged from bankruptcy in 2020, and that was July of that year. What the CEO is saying is false, and he needs to be held accountable, the attorney says. A Hertz spokesperson told Insider in an emailed statement, "Hertz cares deeply about our customers, and we successfully provide rental vehicles for tens of millions of travelers each year." What they're basically saying is, look at all the people we didn't have arrested. Hertz continued by saying, where our customers have been negatively affected, we are committed to doing what is right by our customers. At the same time, we'll protect and defend against false claims intended to cause our company harm. So their position apparently is that some of these lawsuits are so baseless that they've been launched to do nothing but harm to the company. Someone out there is trying to hurt the company. Now, here's the thing. This is one of these great examples. This one will be so easy to flesh out. Is this woman who was arrested 4 times, is she simply out to hurt Hertz, or does she have a valid claim? Well, it seems like it should be very easy to double check to see if she was in fact arrested the first time, the second time, the third time, the 4th time. Her hospital stay should also be very, very easy to confirm. Was she in the hospital shortly after being in the jail? And then finally, did she have a rental agreement for the first day on which she was arrested? And if so, to say that she's made this up and is out to hurt the company would seem to be kind of a weak argument. So I will admit there's a little bit of confusion in this story because it says that these details were taken from a lawsuit, but elsewhere it says that she's part of a class action. So if you're part of a class action, you don't file your own lawsuit. I suspect that the writer of this story is simply stating that she is similar to all the people in the class action, but that she has her own separate lawsuit. I suspect that's it. I could be wrong, but even so, those are some egregious facts. And when somebody is swarmed by the police say you're driving a stolen car. And you go, no, it's a Hertz rental car. They go, yeah, we know. Hertz reported it's stolen. You then say, well, can I show you a piece of paper I have? And you show them the reservation. Say the car is being paid for. I paid for this car. You'd think the police at that point would step back and go, okay, he said, she said. That's the best example of it. But apparently, the police have taken the position, well, Hertz is a big corporation. They wouldn't be just having people arrested willy-nilly like this, would they? Would they? Apparently they do. So it's a crazy story. And this, I believe, is the craziest of all the Hertz rental car stories where the rental goes horribly wrong. But she was literally at Hertz getting into a car, and they called the police on her and had her arrested. That's the allegation. She wasn't pulled over later. She didn't overstay her reservation. She was literally at the airport getting her car in Atlanta at the Hertz facility there, and an agent came out and said, you're stealing our car. And she said, no, I'm a gold member with platinum status for some odd reason. And they said, no, you're stealing the car, and they had her arrested. So We'll see what happens to this one. BusinessInsider.com ran it, as did Jalopnik and others. Ryan Hogg wrote it. A woman is suing Hertz after being accused of stealing a rental car she paid for and getting arrested 4 times over the incident, according to the lawsuit. Sent to me by Dennis, April, Joseph, Andrew, Steve, Neil, David, John, Timothy, and Douglas. Thanks, everybody. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. If you could understand Morse code, a tap dancer would drive you crazy.